And when I get a chance to go to these other people, other races outside of the Black community, I see men 25 years old who've been stand with his parents from 18 to 25, and he about to get married in 6 months. Once he get married, he spent $175 on a down payment on his first house. I seen it. So this idea that I have to be, and the whole point that I'm saying, this idea that I am less of a man because I have a roommate, I think is a fallacy. I had a roommate all the way up until I met my wife, and I was making over 6 figures with a roommate because I was minimizing my expenses. So I don't think that's why start asking women for their credit and be willing to show your credit. Because if a man got 300,000 in the bank, and I'm being outrageous, but if he got, let's say, 100,000 in the bank and he got a roommate, he's a better option than the dude who got zero and he got his own house. Like, I think people need to understand how to make business decisions when it comes down to their spouse, but it's still a spiritual component.
I agree with that 100%. But at the same point in time, if I'm making 6 figures, and I'm not saying anything you said is wrong, I'm in 100%, but I think you're a very rare breed. And I think why a lot of people are going to say that, I mean, you make 6 figures here in Texas, you can get a nice place in the suburbs for 12, 1300. That's a nice size 1-bedroom. You probably got ceiling fans in the hallway. It looks like a hotel when you walk inside of your apartment. $75,000 here in Texas after taxes, that's about $4,000 a month. You still got $3,000 left to do kind of what you need to do. That extra, $1,300 that I'm gonna save, like, that's really not gonna affect anything in the long run on savings.
Really
like, that's not gonna make me any richer.
You really don't agree with him then. You really don't agree with him. That's
No,
what you're
I
saying.
agree with what he's saying. I think it's good,
hold on,
but I'm
brother.
saying I
This
wouldn't.
is
Let
let me just say
finish.
this because I know
Go
you've
ahead,
been
go ahead.
talking. Because I
No.
want to say one thing. Either man, I have never been more in concert with anything you said before in my whole life, man. You were 100% spot on in everything you're saying right now tonight. And being that practical, that's, the fact that being practical is quote unquote rare, that's the shame of it all, especially for us. And the thing you said about a man ready for marriage, you have to base everything in your marriage on what you could afford to do. And part of the vetting process is that the woman has to be willing to live under that covering until you expand. And if she doesn't want to live under that covering, then she eliminates herself. It's just that simple. I mean, so we keep complicating this thing. When either man says if he had a roommate and he's making 6 figures so he could bank, that extra $1,200 or $1,300 could be worth thousands and thousands in a year or 2,000. So you got to be the practical thing of the matter, right? It might not be what you want to do as a man who's grown, but it's nothing wrong with having a roommate if that's the way you're living, because it's not going to be forever, right? Because I'm sure him and his family don't live with that roommate right now.
Absolutely not. But the
So
best thing I could have had in my life is I had a mentor. My mentor told me when I was making over 150 grand, he told me the money was superficial and I would not going to be making that money 3 years from now. That's what he told me. Let me tell you, he was 100% wrong. He was wrong. But he planted the mindset that I had needed to be a minimalist because this was going to be the best I was. So it wasn't that I couldn't afford it. I was thinking that this was just a season of my life and it was going away. I really thought that it was nothing in my mind that thought that I was still going to be making this, 6, 7 years later. But what happened was it gave me the right mindset of investing. And that's what I think he was trying to plant into me. Because even if I would have went back to making 40,000, me actually sacrificing those 3 years, I can live off my investments over those 3 years. I can. And so that's the whole point is it's not about you can, but what if things go wrong? Are you planning to be successful if you go back to 50,000? If you got to go back, like if you have to be in a situation where you went back to where you was making the average income, did those 3 years of the best 3 years of your life make an impact on your life for the rest of your life? And I think men don't just think that far ahead. And so I think that's the difference between how we think.
In other words, he created a sense of urgency in you and made you take advantage of this situation. That makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Meechie. What's happening, man?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, Jenny.
Hi, Meechie.
I just wanted to say about that, like, money, finances, it won't matter to me because the woman I'm gonna be with, she's gonna ride with me no matter what. She's gonna play a role. She's gonna thrive. Like when she's home, cooking and cleaning, and she'll be happy with her role, and I'll be happy with mine. Be the best man that I can be for myself and for my woman, future woman.
You know what, Edom, I think is a part that I think a lot of people are missing out. Everybody's worrying about what you're going to do in this particular nuclear family. I don't think we're actually counting on the extended family as well too, because we use that all the time, like grandparents and aunties and uncles and stuff like that. Most of the time, it's usually the grandparents when mom or dad or something like that at work, and the grandparents keep the kids from time to time. I think that's important because your kids will learn lessons from your grandparents they won't learn from you. And I think that's important. So as far as when you decide to build a family, I think we need to start taking that into consideration as well too before we get married, because you have to remember you're joining two families together. So these are going to be the people who are going to be your village that you're going to have to draw from time to time, because if not, you're going to stress each other out. I'm pretty sure Jenny's folks are going to be nearby when the baby's ready. And am I not right, Jenny? Yes, I know. Because you're going to need that, because I think the family is more than what we bank on. We always want to worry about, the money, but generally it's usually not the money; it's the support and the help. I think most people are needing, and the money just one of the things we use as an excuse to think that it's gonna fix it when it's really not. It's the support. So I think when even either man spoke to it, yeah, money does answer a lot of things, but for the most part, it's the support that people need. Jenny, did you want to say anything? Either man, did you want to say anything?
I go right after her. Go ahead, Jenny.
Well, this is a very riveting conversation. I appreciate everyone who's come up, but it is getting past my bedtime. So I'm going to have to ask for you guys' final thoughts. And so if you could all give a wrap up and let people know where they can find you, if you guys have your own channels or anything like that.
So
Yeah.
let me go first because I got to get off real quick. This is
Yeah.
our pain. Hey, listen,
Congratulations, Arpain, before you go.
Say what? Okay.
I say congratulations, man, on your
Yeah,
37
man, it's my
years of marriage, man.
37th anniversary. So the wife is sleeping. We're hanging out. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yes,
So
indeed.
anyway, listen, I'm on marriage, politics, and sports. I just had to come up for a second to support Jenny and to tell Eda, man, after all the conversations we had together, I finally found something that we could agree 100% on. So I had to say something. I felt compelled. Anyway, hey, thanks for letting me up. Hey, salute to the panel. Good night.
Appreciate it, Arpain. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Dolo TV.
Yeah, Jenny, I appreciate the opportunity coming on your show, and Lost in Translation. Appreciate you seeing you as well. It was a good conversation tonight on my Saturday. I appreciate y'all hearing me and my perspective. And Eda, man, I appreciate you speaking your mind, brother. You got me thinking about some things, and I appreciate the perspective. It makes me want to start doing some evaluation. Maybe I should start considering some things. Nothing wrong with evaluating to get better, right? But I appreciate you guys, and I definitely appreciate this talk, and it made me think about some things. But again, thank you guys for having me on, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight.
Thank you. It was a good contribution that you had.
Me-Meechie, tell the folks how they can find you, brother.
Me-Meechie Project Live. That's my channel on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I came late to the party. I need to come early next time.
That's right. You got to have the notifications on.
I appreciate you, Jenny. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I
it, Mitchell.
appreciate
Thank
you
you for
too.
coming out. Eda Man, go ahead and tell the folks how they can find you, brother.
Yeah, so I have a channel that's called Eda Man Williams. I just making being a husband great again. I think we get so much of a bad side of who black men is as as fathers, as husbands, and it's just a narrative out there that we're doing the wrong thing. So on my page, you're gonna see me at the park with my daughter. You're gonna see us on vacation. It's just showing a different avenue of what the black man is actually doing in marriage, and I just kind of wanted to do that. I do want to give some quick final thoughts. I want to respond to what Lost in Translation said because I think that's more important than the money. He's 100%. Is the people around you. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna need your village to stay in love. I know people don't believe in love and all this stuff, but for you, listen, you need that village when you and your wife need to go out on that date night. And when y'all need to look in each other's eyes again and be able to remember why y'all chose each other. And y'all, I'm telling you, you're gonna need that village more than you know, especially when you have those kids. So let's not just think of money. Let's look at the total picture. And absolutely, I would feel more comfortable dropping my kids off at a nuclear family, husband and wife, that I believe that my kids will have a balanced outlook on life than some mama who can't get no man and now she influencing my daughters. So I think you need to know that you're not marrying just this woman. You also marry her whole family and do what I did. I know it sounds crazy. I think men should actually take their mother-in-law or their future mother-in-law out on a date because I don't care what you think, your wife is going to become that woman. So you need to see what your wife is going to be 20 years from now. And if the mama, I get God can do miracles and some people are that, but if that woman crazy, I'm telling you right now, your wife is coming next. But that's just my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, I think generally speaking, that is probably really good advice. But I'm glad my husband didn't take that advice because I wasn't raised by my mom. So I'm not very much like my mom.
Yeah. Like we understand that there's exceptions to the rule, but the one thing, I'm telling men this: if you think that this woman spent 18 years with this woman and she haven't had some kind of influential way of her ways, you are crazy. Take that. Say, hey, you mind if I take your mama? You mind if I take your mama on lunch? Start talking to her, and don't talk to her about her child because she's gonna lie to you about her child because she's trying to get her child. Talk to her about her.
Yeah.
Hey, so, you got divorced from her daddy. Why you laughing? To start having some conversations like that. I promise you, you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna pack your stuff. And, baby, I love you, but I just don't think I see a future with you. And I know people think that that's outrageous. I was just so serious about marriage that I said I'm a vet not only her, I'm a vet everything that she came from. I wanted to know who implemented these thoughts into her mind. And so that's just my mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Take her mama on dinner. Start asking about her. Get to know her family for who they is. And you want to understand what she was infected with or what she was cured with. That's just my opinion.
That's a good idea. I was just thinking, I like take her mom out, but also her sister as well.
Her sister, you could do a sister, but her sister doesn't. So when people grow up together, the influence is totally different because you can have a woman whose sister is just for the streets and she ain't for the streets, right? And they don't even hang out together. I just think the mom, like even like if her father's present, like I remember my first time actually going out with my father-in-law before he was my father-in-law, and I was asked him a question: why should I choose your daughter?
That's right.
What strengths have you put in your daughter that she is worthy of being my wife? You know that man. If he's any other man, he should respect that. He shouldn't take that as disrespect that you feel like you want to have a conversation with him. And you know he talked about. He said, "I trained this woman since she was young that she supposed to serve it." If you get a father who said that he done trained this woman to serve you. If he said that I was thinking about you, I remember having this conversation. He said I was thinking about her future husband before she was able to have a husband. I'm telling you, if you really start vetting, and this is a whole nother conversation. I know, Jenny, it's your bedtime. I gotta go. But the whole point that I'm telling you is, if you really start vetting the people that raised her, I'm telling you, man, you'll really find out who that person is. And that pretender that they put in there, that don't even matter because they're gonna do it. And you know why? The parents ain't gonna have a reason to lie to you. She got every reason to deceive you. Most parents don't have a reason to lie to you. Why would her mama lie about herself? She ain't dating you.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really pretty good advice, I would say.
Makes sense.
Jenny, it's on you, darling. Wrap that thing up.
Oh, you don't have any final thoughts, Lost?
Well, I'm in agreement with either man. You know, sometimes you gotta look a man in the eye and ask him, do he stand behind his product? You know what I'm saying? What work did you put into it? You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, if I have grandkids, guess who they coming to stay with? They coming to stay with you. So I hope you did what you were supposed to do, because turnabout is fair play. You know what I'm saying? So my whole
And
thing is
Lost,
this. Yeah.
I know you do your final thoughts. I apologize.
No, you
You'll be
good.
surprised how many men told me their daughters wouldn't shit.
I
I know
believe
that
it.
sound. I literally talk with people, father. It's like, man, bro, I stay away from her. You'd be surprised when a man get one on one with you. He'll tell you not to get with his daughter. He'll tell you.
Yeah. I believe it. I believe
Mhm.
it. That's why I tell men always, man, make sure that you vet the family too, man, not just a woman, because that's gonna be your future family too. You
Yep.
know, you're gonna be married into that family, and also get her around your folks so they can and can sniff out her too. Because sometimes we get to overlooking things, and we don't see red flags because we too busy trying to see green flags.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to get them around people that you trust, who can help you look past, your blind spots. I mean, that's what family does. But for the most part, being a husband and wife is not an easy task. I think if you're looking to be married, I think you probably should be educating yourself on what you should be doing, how to take care of each other, how to talk to each other, how to practice giving grace to other people, how to practice giving mercy to other people, when to cut things off, when to start things back up. It's practice. And once you get into the relationship, it should be second nature. You know what I mean? It should be second nature for you to listen to your spouse gently and calmly. It should be second nature to give your wife mercy and grace. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why you should practice that every single day. So when you get with your wife, it's not an act. It's something that comes natural to you. So that's my final thought, and to help us make better families and better marriages.